It's 5 o'clock. If we can get started at the Hartsville-Trousdale County Water and Sewer Utility District meeting, our board meeting. Since it's 5 p.m., I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask for a roll call. We have present.
Here. Here. Here.
I'd like to also note that at the beginning of the meeting, Craig Moreland's not here. If you can just put that in the minutes, please. Based on the minutes currently right now, we have not received his resignation to be placed on our minutes. I know that we were sent the letter of resignation from Mr. Moreland, and I just would like to read it to put it on within our minutes for public. I, Craig Moreland, hereby tenure my resignation as the member of the Hartsville-Trousdale County Water Board. It's been a pleasure to serve on the board for the last 5 years. I have appreciated the learning experience and have enjoyed the opportunity to serve my community. I hope to find ways to continue and support my community. Thank you. Respectfully, Craig Moreland. I, Heather Bay, would like to say a couple things. I've known Mr. Moreland since, don't know his age. I still call him a kid, but when he was with Farm Bureau. And so I had the pleasure of working with him through Farm Bureau. And I believe that the Hartsville-Trousdale County Water Board, we're public servants, dedicated and continue to serve this community. The moment before us provides an opportunity to recognize and promote the significant contributions one such public servant. We respect and honor, I respect and honor Craig Moreland for working at all levels of public service in this community. Hartsville-Trousdale County. Over 10,000 individuals reside in Hartsville-Trousdale County. Not quite sure how many water taps that we offer. Only 8 stand up each month and fight for the rights and safety for these recipients. Mr. Craig Moreland, you have led us well. Hartsville-Trousdale County is a great and prosperous part of this country. This county, state, and country. Constituents, residents, customers, and employees contribute significantly to your greatness and prosperity. Mr. Moreland, Hartsville-Trousdale County benefits daily from the knowledge and skills by your help to the people of Hartsville-Trousdale County. Whereas members of this body make significant sacrifices and contribute to the general welfare of the United States, the state of Tennessee, Trousdale County, and Hartsville City. We have maintained your stance on the front lines in the fight to maintain safe, reasonable utilities for this community. We're public servants, appointees, chairmen, board members. We work, vice chairman, board members, we work professionally to build relationships, to represent the interests better and promote the ideals of these customers. As demonstrated by members' expertise and innovative ideas, we have much to offer and serve as examples by passing on life and institutional knowledge to train our current community, the staff, and the next generation of public servants. The commitment and perseverance of this board during the pandemic have allowed essential services to continue, mitigated and disruption to the customers' daily lives, minimal disruption to customers' daily lives, and played a critical role in protecting public health and safety. It's with a grateful heart, I, Heather Marie Williams Day, thank you, Mr. Moreland, your wife, Jen Kelly Moreland, your son, and your family for all the years each one of you continue to love and have loved serving this community. I carry a heavy heart. We do not have you here to lead this community in the challenges, trials, tribulations, places before us. I say that because I have spoke with Mr. Moreland, and there's no coming back from this resignation. I believe we probably need a motion on the floor to accept his resignation, to put it into the minutes. And if I may have if someone or if we need one.
Motion to accept Craig Moreland's resignation letter.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Thank you. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I should have. So that takes us back to, anybody have any comments? I probably should have said that before. I'll leave the floor open on this discussion for discussion. Thank you all. I did kind of jump the gun and went to number 2, but it was heavy on my heart. And I felt like I needed to get it done before I choke. So thanks for bearing with me. If we can go back to the minutes and or back to the agenda. I'd like to, there is a nomination for Mr. Mark White to actually take the position as vice chair. I've been informed, and I do need to explain that I've been informed that I am to roll into the chair position. Do we have a,
Are you calling for nominations for vice chair?
and I'm welcome to the floor, any nominations for vice chair.
Okay, okay. You said you had a nomination.
And we do have one nomination on the floor for Mr. White.
Okay.
I'll nominate Mark White for the position of vice chair.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations?
Second.
We have a second.
Make a motion that we end the nominations and elect Mark White by acclamation.
Thank you for that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And I'll say aye as well. No, thank you, sir. All in favor? It said aye and no opposition. Thank you for coming on board. Appreciate you. If we'll go back to the agenda, you can look for the August 2021 meeting minutes. Sorry about it's just when you go from one type word to somebody else's type word, try to print something. So, know if everyone had a moment earlier to read the minutes. Anybody have any comments or anything, any changes that need to be made?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion first, and we have a second. Any other comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next conversation in the agenda is to be on the financials. Tommy, would you like to lead us in that?
Give me, I forget about the microphone. Can you hear me? We're about 8.75% above our budget period for this budget year right now, as of right now, for this 2-month period into our budget. So we're ahead in our balance of our cost and finances and expenses, 8.75%. And that's, if y'all have any questions.
Have any questions about the financials for this month?
Motion to approve the financials.
I have a motion on the floor. We have a second for the financials.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Which that's everybody. So motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Tommy, you are next with our water loss report.
Excuse me again. We got July and August reported, called up here, and we're pretty close to about what we was last year on these same months. We're also working on getting our one last component of our zone meters intact where we can match that to our customer in a zone. We about got that fixed where we could help do a little more tightening up on looking for leaks and things like that. So.
Anybody have any questions?
Just out of curiosity, I noticed the chemicals went up quite a bit from July to August.
That may be because we just we didn't order that much the last time. It just sometimes it hits the ordering hits certain weeks.
Gotcha.
It may just carry it over from one week to the other.
All right, appreciate it.
Question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
On the wholesale side, it looks like it was up quite a bit. You think it's gonna stay at that level or the previous level?
It varies all the time. I think one of our neighbors, they've been having some, they've been flowing, some of them have leak issues. Castilian does every now and then. Their stuff changes up and down when they have leaks. I think Southside Utility District's got an issue too. We had one utility call this weekend asking about their meter because they thought they had a problem, and we was able to help look at that and not be able to look online and look at it with them and see what it looked like. So, but that varies. It's just their usage. They could have a leak and it goes up. They could have more usage. They could have growth too. It's possible.
I guess my question is, normally, is it more like 4,000 or is it more like 5,000? Which is the more normal? Is there not a normal? Is that what you're saying?
I've seen it vary between 3 to 4.
Okay.
It varies, yes.
I didn't remember seeing it anywhere near 5,000 before is what was kind of throwing me there. I was hoping that was a trend that might continue.
I know, yeah. Well, now, and that being said, just as for y'all's, the utility that called this weekend was Cordell Hull, and in my conversation with him, he asked me the question while we were talking, would we be willing to buy water from them if they build a water plant, do all this? And I said, well, probably not, because we're already looking at, they lifted the moratorium, and he didn't know that off the Cumberland. And we're already probably going to be looking at getting more access or asking for some when we figure that out. And the conversation kind of flipped in. He said, we might could buy from you. And I said, that's possible. So I said, next time we have a meeting, we will include that utility in that meeting for this regional conversation about water needs for the region. So he wanted to be included in that. So they may have flipped their thoughts of building a plant, just buying water from us. So that may have started a conversation that might work into something. That was where we left it, but I will include him in future meetings. So, and it might not hurt to include our other utility district neighbors that we serve in those meetings, like Castilian and Southside, and we serve about 3 or 4 different utilities.
I welcome that invitation for them to be involved, and would also like to have reason and knowledge as to why we have the excessive growth. Is it based on leakage, or just a courtesy in letting us know that they just put in 100 homes somewhere. So I think that gives us a better preparation on how we are to prepare for the future growth with especially this new load that Evan's been given to plan for. So
I think they serve 1,000 plus customers, and we feed about 60 to 70 on that meter off on the Cato side. So that's where that's located.
thank you. Anything else on that?
No, I don't have
Any other questions?
You want a motion to accept the report?
I think
I'll
so.
be glad to make that.
Thank you. Thank you for the motion. We have a motion on the floor to accept water loss report. Can I have a second? Have a second on the floor? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The next order of business we have is our engineering report from Mr. Evan White, who is with Mid-10 Engineering. If you'll come up to the podium. Floor is yours.
Get up here so y'all can hear me. The SRF tank project, they're still in the middle of their environmental. The last update I got through them, they're looking for a FONSI, which is a finding of no significant impact. In other words, there's nothing out there we're going to destroy that's going to infect the environment. As soon as that's done, y'all should be getting paperwork. They keep saying that, but I got an update. I guess that would be first of this month, is when they give it to us. So they're doing it for both the tank and the water line. It's coming down to 141. That's the update on the SRF project. Update on CDBG. We had a meeting today with, it's like a public meeting they hold. They have not released who's been awarded the CDBG projects this year. It's still pending. That's typical of them. They usually let it out after this meeting. I haven't heard one way or the other as far as if it's y'all have got a real good application or not. They never really give me any idea until they release the standings. But what they did tell us today is with all the ARP money that's coming out, there's like 1.3 billion with a B that the state has got to spend, not local. So y'all already got some local funds. But the state has also got 1.3 billion to spend by 2026. So their proposal now is to take water and sewer projects out of CDBG and make that ARP funds. And then they're going to let CDBG funds, possibly, this ain't been official yet, but this is kind of what they're thinking. They kind of let everybody know. And y'all's mayor can, or any public person can comment to these. It's open for like 30 days, I think. They are going to allow or look at doing local roads and streets, sidewalks, drainage, and storm sewer systems as a CDBG project. So they've learned over the years, lots of municipalities got fell in storm sewer, and there was never any grants out there. So since there's ARP money out there and it's actually been approved for water and sewer, they're trying to open something else up that would help these communities. So we learned that today in a meeting with CDBG. The feasibility study, I was telling Tommy before the meeting, we're about done with that. We came up with 85 roads that y'all do not have water on. I'm going to let Tommy sit down and make sure that every one of those roads don't have water. We had to take an old map from 2016, I think, is what we went off of. It may have been older than that, maybe before that, but I wanted to make sure that all the roads that's listed truly don't have water. So we've got them road, we've got the house counts, we've got what we think the cost would be. So we've got them ranked for y'all. So that report will be coming. And after we get this done, we will start on the 20-year, and we'll start sitting down with y'all in a work session or something and try to get our heads around that. And like I said, that's one of those things y'all are going to kind of have to help lead the way on, is what y'all are expecting as growth too. I mean, we can look out and in future project things, but a lot of times y'all kind of have an idea how y'all want to see the utility go too. So that's all I got. I'll take questions on, and if I forgot a project, let me know. I don't think I did. It's ARP, it's American Recovery Plan. It's money that they've already given counties, and it's also money that the state has got. So it's sort of like, it's federal funds, so it's got certain criteria you got to meet. So they're just basically, today they didn't even tell us what kind of match it would be or anything. Typically, y'all CDBGs are somewhere between 10 and 20% match. So they didn't really say that they was going to use that same criteria for it, or if it's going to be a different match, but they're just trying to shift funds around because they got to spend that much money, and it has to be spent by 2026.
I know none of us have a crystal ball, and this plan is going to be our best guesstimate. The wild card is going to be the 14110 connector extension and how much that's going to fuel growth on that side of the county. And there's no way to know how quick that's going to happen or what that impact's going to be. But just try to, as much as you can, be aware of that and build that into it, or possibly two scenarios, one with that happening quicker or with it happening. We've been pretty much assured by TDEC that it will be happening in their near future. Their near future and our near future are, as you well know, you're grinning, miles apart sometimes, but just would like to you know, make sure that we're trying to allow for that somehow if we can at all.
I'm also looking at all y'all's neighboring people that are either attached to your system or easily attached to your system. That's going to play a big role in withdrawal, as far as how much would they be willing, if any, to buy from y'all. I didn't know if Cordell was attached directly to y'all if they go through Highway 25. So if they're a direct connection, that would be a lot easier to serve them. So, but that's kind of something we need to get together on, kind of sit down with the ones that y'all are already tied on to see if they're going to be willing to either increase their treatment, or they're buying from who, or, you know, we kind of need to figure out what their long-term goals are too, as far as drawing from y'all as a UD.
Are you ready for that meeting? When would you like that meeting?
Whenever's good. I don't know how we want to actually, I don't know if y'all want to meet with all your neighboring people at the same time, or if you'd like to have one meeting with just us, and us kind of get together and figure out kind of what y'all are thinking, and then go back with them. Or to me, you may want to do two. You may want to do one meeting with us and then see who would be willing to come, and maybe sit down with myself and Tommy and see what their thoughts are. And then we can present that back to y'all, so y'all ain't got as much legwork on that. But I'm ready whenever.
If you'd like to shoot us a few dates that are available for you, I'll shoot it to everyone, or just shoot it to all of us, and then we'll just chime in and let you know if we're available. What is the opinions of everyone? Would you like to have everyone in the first meeting, or would you like to get together independently with him so we have a clue of what's going on?
We gotta get our ducks in a row first and then
Thank
worry
you.
about everybody else.
We have to use mics too. Sorry. What I'm hearing is that they'd like to get their ducks in a row and be prepared and educated prior to the the public being presented. I think that's a great recommendation, suggestion, because we know that we're going to have plenty of customers out there knocking on our door immediately as soon as the public meeting happens. So I think it's going to be hard once we get into the holidays. So if you'll just shoot us some current ones, and then we'll get with the county on public opportunities for availability and spaces. Thank you.
Is the
Anything else?
evening's good for you? Is that what we need to be
Did you say
doing?
tonight?
No. I've got a checklist I'm bringing, so, is the evenings really what we need to do? Like, okay.
I saw two heads up and down and looked like one was no. So are you okay in the evening?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think, what the, other meeting schedule is, but I think it'd be good for everybody to be invited that might have an interest. Even if they don't bring something to the table, they'll glean information so that they can help make decisions later. And so just invite them. If they can come, they will. If they can't, they won't.
I agree. But I believe we need 2 meetings. I think they need to educate us on what we're getting into.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion or anything for that, but thank you for, does anybody have any more questions for Evan, other than though he snuck away? Thank you. This takes us to our general manager report. Mr. Tommy, you have the floor.
Yeah, I guess I jumped the gun on the increased withdrawal. That's the only update we've had, talking to that guy with Cordell Hull about his interest there. So, well, I reckon the mayor has mentioned that they're trying to get him, Ray Render with Mr. Rose's office. They're trying to get another meeting together, and they'll let that out as soon as they get that together and get everybody together to meet one more, another time about the 219 money and 219 or 319 money that you can get from ask the government to provide. They're really interested in that for sure. That you can go out with a community effort and get a big pool of money to use for projects, whatever each utility wants. And then continue this conversation about the pull from the river as well. So that's something that we're still working to get a meeting for. So that's all I had to report on that. That next item there, the Title 18 resolution, that we've been talking about this for a while. Mr. Scholes worked on it. Mr. Brailer looked at it. The county commission might remember a gentleman came in and asked about something getting fixed, but he'd come to the water board. It's under our purview to fix them, I believe. But in order to do that, the Title 18 will have to be, I guess, rescinded on the county side, given to us. And this is, I guess, requesting that to be done, or to be able to be done that way.
So this is us making the request to the commission.
In a way, yes, make a request to commission, and they'll rescind it, give those rules to the board, and the board can take them and change them, modify them to modern, and get them in-house and fix them. There's some out-of-date stuff in there that'll let y'all get them in your all's wheelhouse and work on fixing your rules and regs. It combines what we already have, because Mr. Scholes looked at Title 18 and compared it to what we got, and he made recommendations on what to keep, what to add to, what to let go. He's made those recommendations on our part of it.
We're in the process of looking at a lot of these things, and I know that I don't think there's going to be any issue in the need to do this. Just a matter of getting the wording correct.
Yeah.
I agree. A lot of times we'll have a good intent, but it won't be worded properly. Do we have any concerns about this at all? If you'll see in the packet, it says in their chair, it already has, I just want to bring that to your attention, that it states a chair position with Heather Bay on there. And I want to make a note of that. I don't want us to move forward without bringing that to your attention, because this meeting's not adjourned yet. So, okay. Anybody has any issues with that? If not, then Tommy appears to need approval for us to move forward, for him to move forward. Or a decline to hold off. You have a motion?
Motion to submit resolution 092021 and send it to the commission.
Second.
First and second, both on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed was not on the floor, it's not happening, so motion carried. Mr. Tommy, you've got a little bit more.
We currently are buying chemicals from Citco Water. There's only 2 companies in the state that do what we have is mini bulk containment. We don't have the large bulk tanks like some places have. We don't have no way to house them. And there's only 2 companies that do it. One had got bought out and changed companies, and they quit selling. They've never sold some of them. We've always been trying to get to a company that sells all the stuff that we use, but some don't. But this company's got close to it, and they've offered this clean water program, and I've for the price of going out to bid between the 2 and the current pricing that's chemicals are at, their pricing is probably going to be very fair. They're going to modernize some of our plant in this cost. There's going to be in there, if you'll look at that spreadsheet I give you, that give you 2, but I want to be sure I get some information to you.
Hey, Tommy, could you back up and just start at the top? What are we changing, and what are these guys actually doing? Are we spending more money, you know?
Let me, I was getting to this sheet I was going to show you. If you look at not the color sheet, but the blank one, right here, you'll see chemical pricing. That's the chemical price as it is in their clean water program. That's the price of the chemical. In the Citco or the clean water program, that's the price with their what they offer to help what they're going to do.
What are they going to do?
Okay, it's right here. It says that in this thing here, they're going to provide us with modern chemical dosing pumps. They're going to install everything new. It's going to be able to pace with our raw water flow, which we don't have right now. Everything's manually done, and most water plants have this technology already. They're going to provide all these pumps in this program and get everything modernized, get it to where it ramps to the flow. Because what happens now is an operator will wash a filter, and in order to do that, the way our plant is, you got to stay with it. It's hard for them to go and turn this chemical down, that chemical down, but this will do it automatically. And it'll save a little bit of chemical in that process, because a lot of times we just let them run and they kind of they don't get out of range, but they do get out of whack. In a way, that's going to save money over time.
Will it eliminate the incident we had the other week?
It'll help, because they're also going to offer the thing we talked about in that incident where Evan was working on that design. They're going to install that in this money. They're going to take care of that. They're going to core the holes through the wall. They're going to lay all that for us for this price.
Question. Well, once they install this, is it ours or is it still theirs?
The program, we'll be in it for 4 years in this program.
But will it be our equipment?
Yeah, we'll own it, but if say we get into it at 6 months or a year and we don't like what they're offering, we can get out of it, but we will have to pay for those things that we've done. And in my, I went and looked at what they sent me all this data. They sent me their cost on the pumps. I went out and tried to beat that cost, and I couldn't. I went to several vendors that sell that, and I could not beat their costs. They were very reasonable on what they were offering, far as I couldn't get the pump for the price they got it for, because they're dealing with multiple. They buy it up, they buy it in bulk. We don't do that.
So there's no other upfront cost. The cost of all that equipment, install and everything is just rolled into the price we pay for chemicals for 4 years.
If there's an increase, they will notify us. If a chemical goes up in price or their price changes, they will let us know that. And I've been told it's not gonna be, it's just gonna be whatever, they're just gonna pass the increase on, they're not gonna up it up with a percentage. That's how they've explained it to me in this, so.
Well, just two things, and just so I know, I understand, the first columns, the 103,000, whatever, that's what we paid for 2021.
Yeah, 20 and 21,
This second column totaling 116,389, is that what we estimate this year's cost to be?
well, that'll be what their price is on this, the chemical.
Okay,
And that's that's 11% increase right there, 11.2.
all right, then the clean water program, is this where the equipment comes in?
That's where the equipment, all the stuff they offer, all the
Okay.
services. They're also gonna come in once a year and do the maintenance on those pumps, refix them. They'll do that once a year.
All right, not to be negative, but having dealt with lots of vendors and contracts and things not going high in the sky, like they say, do we know what our worst case scenario is if we pull out, what we're gonna be holding the bag for? How much
I think the price was somewhere around $12,000
for the equipment?
for the equipment.
Okay.
And that's based over a 4-year.
No, I'm talking about, we're 6 months in, hey, this ain't working, we want out.
At worst case, you'll pay for whatever the difference is in that, what you paid from what you owe them.
For 1 year or for 4 years?
You'll owe whatever they put in if you drop out of it.
I understand for the chemicals,
Yeah, I'm talking about you will owe for the pumps if you get out of it quickly.
okay,
In other words, if you
that's what I'm
drop out,
asking, what's that gonna cost us?
About $12,000.
Okay,
And that's also the piping
okay.
going in that gets the safety issue fixed.
And I'm not saying that it won't go well, I just,
Yeah.
dealing with a lot of vendors,
Yes.
they paint a pretty picture.
We would have to pay to do this anyway. They're gonna do it in this price. If we don't like it, we can back out. We will have to pay them for the stuff they do if we don't stay in the program for the whole 4 years. But we do have a 30-day, we have to give them notice in 30 days if we want to back out, and that's only requirement. We do have to give them 30-day notice. And,
Are we buying from them now?
yes, sir, they're our
Okay.
current vendor.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Then I guess my question is, if we're already buying from them, why are they wanting to do this? What's in this for them other than just a 4-year contract to,
It locks them in without a bid for 4 years.
okay. I mean, that's what I was gathering. I just want to make sure I was correct.
But there's not a lot of competition out there anyway. That's what you said at first,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we're not gonna, because I did get with the competitor and ask them, what is your current price right now on chemicals without a bid? And it's on this list.
Is this something new that they've just come up with, or
It's something they offered.
have they been doing it routinely for years with other people and we've never been offered it before,
We've never
or?
been offered it before. I can't speak to the timeline they've been doing it,
Okay.
but they've been a reputable company so far. They've done,
Are, in your opinion, is this something you think we need to do?
yes, sir, I think it'd be a good thing.
I tend to agree. Do you
It's
want
gonna-
us to make the motion to approve this, or
Yes, if y'all would.
I will be glad to make that motion?
We're not gonna be breaking any rules
If
on
you-
competition and
No, if you
bids and
vote
all
to
that
do
kind of
this,
stuff.
As long as you agree to do this as a board, I can do it. If not, I'll have to bid out. But y'all agree to do this program, I can sign this agreement and we can try it out and see how it goes.
I'm on board, I just want to make sure that we read the fine print in case
Yes.
things don't go well, what are we gonna be on the hook for? That's all
And
I'm
I'll
concerned
give
with.
y'all a report on it and keep eye on it. We'll give you an update on a monthly basis, make sure it's going well. Y'all can ask.
I think Mark and I are thinking along the same lines as far as what's worst case scenario. If we decide to get out of this, and if it's only $12,000, and I think it's very much a benefit to be locked in, not having to be, you having to constantly bid this out and deal with it. It seems like a good move from what I can see.
I'm willing to give them a try and see how it goes, if y'all don't mind.
No, I'm completely on board with it,
Yeah.
just, I just know things don't always go as
I
planned.
understand.
And the 12 grand, we get to keep the pumps, right?
Yeah, we get to keep them. We just
Yeah.
have to pay for it. We were
I
gonna
make
have
the
to pay for
motion
it
that we
anyway.
authorize Tommy to engage this company in this agreement.
We have a motion on the floor of Mr. Jewell. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank y'all for that. We'll keep y'all updated as it goes along. We got the, make sure I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Oh, yeah, I just gave y'all, sent y'all example, this RFQ for the attorneys and for this attorney services where we backed up and y'all wanted to go out to do this. And if, just wanted y'all to review if y'all had any questions. The mayor, we worked on it. Mr. Beller's looked at it. There's only one thing I left in yellow. The mayor was asking, he didn't know whether y'all as a board would like to do the electronic version of letting somebody send your proposal. I've never done that personally myself that I know of, but if y'all want to add that into this, it's fine. He didn't know if that was the board's will or not. If you want to let somebody submit it electronically.
It probably could result in getting more proposals.
Okay.
I think that was his reasoning on it, and
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that.
The only thing he left as a question was, would the board like to, that was what he was going to ask, I think, if y'all would like to do it that way. If y'all would, we'll leave it in there. But that was the only thing that I had a question about. Unless y'all saw something y'all needed to deal with.
Are we ready to send that out then, Tom? You need a motion from us to send it out, or is that where we're at with it?
I'll second that.
Motion to approve the RFQ for utility attorney and have Tommy send it out.
Second.
First and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Anything else for your report?
That's all I had tonight, unless y'all have any questions.
Anybody have any questions for him on anything?
I'm sorry, one more thing. We did finally got it yesterday, the approval to do the vital path loop from the state. What I submitted to them.
That was going to be my question, if you'd had any movement on that, or.
Yeah, I got it yesterday from them. They emailed me showing the approvals letter, and I did get approval from the TDOT to bore the road. So we've got all that ready, just getting everything lined up.
Next order of business, do we have any public comments? You look away. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Next order of business is our board member comments. I'm just going to go across the room and ask if anybody has anything. Anything? Mark, you got anything?
Yeah, I know I've said it a couple times, and I've been here long enough to vaguely understand some things. I get that we can't go spending millions and millions of dollars to run water to everybody's front door. I understand that, I really do. But I just want to reiterate to the board, once again, I feel like we have got to really put our heads together. There are a lot of intelligent people in this room. Put our heads together and try to find any solutions that we can to try to increase our services to unserved and underserved areas of this county. I mean, I had a rather heated exchange with a non-ratepayer, but I get their frustration. I do. I can't do anything about it, but I get it. But I just feel like in the year 2021, there has got to be something we can do. Something somewhere. If we have to take it, like eating an elephant, one little bite at a time. I mean, I get it, but if nothing else, if we can just show that we're trying, because right now, public perception is that we're not. Now, I know the water department works hard. I see the boys out working all the time, and I am pro county employees. I'm behind all the county employees 110%, proud of what they do. But the general consensus with the public is that the utility isn't doing as much as it should, which bothers me because I know that that's not the case, but I want to change the public's perception, be it through actually doing something or at least making them think we're trying. I feel like that's our sole purpose for being here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. They're well received. And Evan, I think that's more of a challenge for you on this next plan that we've got set up with you. Mr. Jewell, do you have anything?
Just will make you aware, if you're not, that I was re-elected chairman of the commission last night, and you'll have to put up with me for at least one more year unless I die.
Anything else? As we all sit in this seat, I have to ask that we bring our insight to the table when we come every time we meet. It's only once a month. So I bring to you a letter that was presented to the County Commission Chairman Jewell and the Honorable Brandon Beller, County Attorney, last night, and read in the minutes. It states, I'll tell you what it states. We are compelled to file a formal complaint against Mayor Stephen Chambers concerning his actions at the special called commission meeting on 7/19/2021. This letter is that complaint and request for an official investigation. We also request this be read and spread on the minutes of the commission meeting. The 7/19/2021 special called meeting was to have discussion and possible vote over Resolution 2021-18-7222 regarding the Water Department proposed construction of a building at 328 Broadway behind the administration building on county property. The Water and Sewer Department previously stated an urgency for this meeting to meet their deadlines. Thus, the purpose and sole purpose was for the decision by the commission on this issue. Chairman Jewell convened the meeting, and immediately the meeting was interrupted by Mayor Chambers. He stated that a few commissioners had engaged in conversation about said building prior to the beginning of the Education Committee meeting. Mayor Chambers was present at the time, never voiced any concern or objective to the conversations. He stated that this was a violation of the Open Meetings Act and that he had a record of those conversations and threatened legal action against the commissioners. He stated that County Attorney Beller had reviewed the recording. Chairman Jewell asked Attorney Beller if this was a violation. He stated that it could be perceived by some as having a potential violation. He further stated that if the things discussed were also discussed in another open and advertised meeting, that would remedy any possible violations. Mayor Chambers read a list complete with times of the conversations prior to this meeting, the said meeting. During the ensued discussions, Mayor Chambers threatened to take this to the Water Board and assist them in filing suit against the county commissioners. Chairman Jewell asked that to be provided the list of allegations by Mayor Chambers, refused, saying it was for his use only. Chairman Jewell, acting on Beller, asked the mayor to state each of his allegations, and they were discussed for the mayor's satisfaction, one at a time. Our concern is during the meeting, Mayor Chambers was led to believe that we as commissioners were under a threat of litigation regarding the violation of the Open Meetings Act. On 2 occasions, he alerted to the fact that there were under said threat. Even though he knew there was a remedy to any potential violation being proposed, the mayor was a member of the Water Board, said he would turn over evidence to them and advise them to pursue legal action against the commission. This threatened evidently resulted in some members to vote for the project simply because they were intimidated and coerced to do so, to avoid the county being involved in litigation itself. Also, there was a topic of utility extension having been completed prior to the commission's final approval of the project, with a mention of who was going to reimburse the water department for it if it was not approved. We believe this and other concerns that were voiced and the public and the building being built by the county department on county property necessitated the attention and vote of the commission, not just the mayor's approval. We believe Mayor Chambers' actions were nothing more than an overt attempt to influence the vote. This resulted in impossible official oppression by him and possible violation of the TCAT 39-16-403, also TCA 39-16-404 states, a public servant commits on the offense who, by reason of information, attains or aids another to attain a benefit. Further, TCA 39-16-402, a public servant commits on an offense who, with the intent to obtain benefit or harm another, knowing these and any other statutes that were possibly violated, need a thorough and serious investigation. On concern, these actions by the mayor resulted in the outcome of $1 million plus project possibly being affected. Also placing the mayor's office and the commission in an adversarial position due to these legitimate threats. Therefore, we officially request the county attorney to investigate these actions for an ethical or legal infractions and pursue any legal recourse necessary against Mayor Chambers. Respectfully requested the undersigned Hartsville-Trousdale County Commissioners. Jerry Ford, William Ferguson, Gully, Richard Harsh, Jewel, David Noller, Coy Dickey, sorry, I'm reading people's signatures, Gary Clarity, Rachel Jones, Rick Davis, Steve Whitaker. Received 9/27/21, Dwight Jewell, Chair. I'd like to state this on record so that we make sure also that we do not break the sunshine and talk about this outside of our meetings. If we need a special called meeting for this, I welcome it. Meanwhile, as this new position, I will be opening my own investigation on the situation to make sure that we are all kosher.
Just to clarify, Rachel Jones signed it?
Yes, sir.
She was absent that night. She was the only commissioner, not president. So she's just gonna put her name on something? She has no clue what happened?
So we received that night no votes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the individuals who were there voted no, signed this letter. So my concern and question to them, and I don't mind opening it up in this meeting, does that mean they meant to say, they should say yes now? If they were coerced? And Rachel Jones was out for every vote that occurred that evening. So we have some individuals who voted yes, who signed this letter. I take this as something the water board has to look into for our own self and for what we are moving forward with, so that we may maintain compliance at all times. So I welcome in the future, if any of you receive any of this information and you need to bring it, either call me and ask to have it put into the agenda, or during your opportunity, bring it to this board. Because I do welcome this. It does state water board project on here. So I think that so that we're in compliance with state and federal laws, we bring it to the table here. And if we need a work session, you are all more than welcome to request a work session for us to get together and work on this as a board. So I will be continuing this investigation and bringing forth information, working with quite a few of our governmental agencies to make sure that we remain in compliance.
Can we have copies of that? Actually, I just want.
It's public record, yes, sir.
I just need
So-
the signature page. That's all I need.
Yes, sir. I don't have, I will get those to you. And once it was announced on the county commission, it was made public record. So that's why we're presenting this formally today. So.
I'm just glad to see nothing's changed on the commission.
Do we have any, and does anybody have any questions about it or anything that you would like for me to continue to look into? I will continue to look for all of our sakes. So, I'm uncertain at this time if or how we may be impacted. And when I say we, I say this department. And I promise you all that I will be looking into this. If you've got any that's the remainder of any comments that I have. I want to thank you all for this evening. And if anybody has anything else, we can get a motion to adjourn. If not. Stay here a little bit longer and talk about something.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.